Crystal's Yoga here. Today is a heart opening flow, so we're doing lots of back bends. You won't need any props or blocks, so I'll meet you on your mat. Start in a reclined butterfly, so coming to lay onto your back body, soles of the feet touch, let those knees fall open like the pages of a book. And then you can take your hands, gently place them on the crease of your upper thighs, between your hip bones and your thighs, and then just start to press the legs down towards the feet, away from you, really stretching the spine, feeling this compression into the vertebra, or decompression, I should say, into the vertebra. Just to start to settle in. Okay, and then from here, happy baby, soles of the feet up to the sky. You can catch the ankles, maybe the fingers around the big toe, or I like to grab the outside of the feet. And just start to guide the knees towards the armpits or the shoulders. Maybe you want to rock side to side. And then soles of the feet come together. So still in happy baby, but a butterfly version, drawing heels towards the groin. Knees wing open. And then keeping this bind onto the feet. The knees may stay a little bit bent, but do your best to straighten the legs as best you can towards the ceiling or even overhead. The hips can certainly come off the earth. I like to come into almost a little bit of like a bound plow. So drawing my toes overhead, getting a deep stretch into the posterior chain here. And then we'll release, and we're going to come right away with momentum into a boat pose. So coming all the way up, holding your Navasana boat pose. And then softly let the heels come down, reach the arms up, and then fold forward. Bow deeply. Yeah, so we just did this on our backs, this forward fold here with the bind. And then coming up with the chest, coming back into your boat pose, Navasana, start to tip back. Lift up those heels. Holding for a breath. Maybe you start to draw the knees towards each other. And then we're going to come to lay on our backs all the way down. Reach the arms overhead. Get a long stretch. So just starting to warm up here. Again, we'll come into our boat pose. So with a little bit of momentum, rocking the hips up or the chest up. And then Paschimottanasana, this forward fold, heels reach forward, fold. Good, one more time. We'll move through this set here, coming into your Navasana, boat pose. And then softly all the way down. Ooh, hello, kitty. Miwo, big stretch. And then this time we come all the way up, finding your way into a tabletop. Just move through a couple of cat-cows here. Belly drops, inhale, look up. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Okay, curl those toes under. Hips go up and back, downward facing dog. Yeah, maybe you like to paddle it out, bend those knees, sway those hips. Or maybe you want some stillness here. And then we'll walk the hands to the back of the mat to meet the feet. Ragdoll here, but we're going to take an active variation. So opposite hands, opposite elbows, drop the head and really start to stretch the elbows towards the earth, almost like you could touch your toes with your elbows. And then release the bind with the hands. Find your chair pose, Utkatasana, hips down, heart lifts, and take a breath. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana chair. Do it again, exhale, fold. Okay, inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold. This is going to be a theme for us today in this practice. Good. And then release back into your downward facing dog. Let's sweep the right leg all the way up. Big bend into the knee. Open up the hip. And then we're going to take this little detox twist. Tap your right knee to your left elbow. Maybe it touches. Inhale, open it back up. So three-legged dog. Exhale, detox twist. Little tap to the left elbow. Inhale, open it up. Good. This time, we're going to twist again. You're going to extend your right foot towards the left side. So in fallen triangle, pick up the hips. Maybe you reach the top arm up to the ceiling. Maybe it reaches overhead to the top of the mat. Good. Left hand comes back to the mat, three-legged dog. Spin that right knee open and then flip on over. Find your wild thing. See how quiet you can do it. Yeah, heart lifts. And then slow and controlled, we're going to make our way into our low lunge. So right foot to the top of the mat, maybe no right hand. Left knee, so the back knee comes down. Sweep the arms all the way up. I like to take a bind with my hands, Kali Mudra, interlacing pointer finger, releasing thumb and pointer finger. Sink the hips down and forward. Maybe you start to press into the back foot, lifting up the back knee, getting really deep into that hip flexor. And then softly let that knee come down, curl the back toes under. With momentum, we're coming into our chair pose, top of the mat. So here we go, step forward, chair pose. Exhale, fold. We're going to do that again, chair pose, inhale. Exhale, fold. Good, again, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Good, last time coming into your chair pose. And this time we're going to come low, 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 and we're coming into our crow pose. So even if you don't have crow pose, you can practice it, spread the fingers open wide, and you can just work on placing the knees behind the armpits or the triceps or the elbows. Look forward, gaze forward. Maybe you're lifting up one toe and then the other. Maybe both toes are lifting. If it's in your practice to jump back, you can jump back. Otherwise, toes can set down. Step back to your plank, low plank. Inhale, heart lifts, back bend. Push back. We're in our downward facing dog. Reset. And then we move to the other side. Left leg lifts, big bend into the knee, open up. And then take a little twist. Tap your left knee to your right elbow. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, tap it. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, find your fallen triangle. So left foot, the opposite side, right side of the mat. Pick up the hips, pick up that top arm. Maybe reach it overhead. And then right hand supports you. Right away, sweep your left leg up, single leg down dog or three-legged down dog. Tip on over, find your wild thing. Heart lifts. Yeah. And then our transition is into our low lunge. Left foot to the top of the mat. Slow and controlled, right knee down, arms reach up. And melt. Maybe again, you're pressing into that right foot, the back foot, lifting up the back knee. If the knee is lifted, let it come down, curl the back toes under with momentum. Maybe you're using your hands. We're coming into our chair pose, top of the mat. Good. And fold. Again, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Last time we come into our chair and we get low, low, low. Hands come to the earth, finding our crow pose, round two. Knees to the triceps, gaze forward. If you're curious about that jump back, you don't quite have it, maybe you practice jumping back with one foot at a time. And then we move through our flow. Inhale, heart lifts, back bend. Push back. Downward facing dog. Good, okay. Right leg lifts, big bend into the knee, open up. We're going to do that little twist, tap it to the left. Inhale, sweep it up, bend the knee. Exhale, tap it to the right. Inhale, sweep it up. This time, knee to nose. Step the right foot forward. And then find a warrior two stance with the feet where you're coming into your extended side angle. I'm going to invite you to bring your right hand to the earth and your left arm straight up to the sky. If you need to come up, if you can't get that low, that is okay. You can use a block or you can just lift up. And then using your strong right leg and reaching up with the left hand, you're going to come all the way up into your warrior two. Begin to straighten the right leg, the front leg. Hip on back, peaceful. So you can drop that left hand behind you, reach back with the right hand, setting you up perfectly with the legs for your Trikonasana. So reach your arms out into a T, bump the hips back, reach forward. Right hand down, left arm up. Maybe your right hand comes to a block. The shin, if you can reach for the foot, bring it to the foot. Teeny tiny little back bend here, maybe even gazing up. Slight tuck of your tailbone. Yeah, and then warrior two again, bend the front knee, inhale, come all the way up. Interlace those hands behind the low back, turn your chest to the top left corner, and then humble your warrior. So bow deeply, you're snuggling your right shoulder on the inside of that right leg. Can you lift your thumbs up 1 inch higher? Okay, we're gonna release the bind with our hands. We're gonna come into our chair pose, top of the mat. So maybe the hands are supporting you. You curl the back toes under with momentum. Chair pose. Exhale, fold. Again, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Again, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Last time, chair pose. And then we come into our crow pose, round 3. You can absolutely skip it if you don't want to practice your Kakasana, Bakasana. Otherwise, you can step back, jump back. We all meet in downward facing dog, moving through your flow. Good. Left leg lifts, big bend into the knee, open up. And then tap it to the right elbow. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, tap it to the left. Inhale, up. Exhale, softly. Step that left foot between the hands. Spin your back heel down so you're in a warrior two stance with the legs, finding this variation of your extended side angle. I'm using a fist with my left hand down. Reach that right arm up. So this is very intense here. And then reaching up with that top arm, using your strong left leg, will come all the way up. Warrior two, and then right away straighten the front leg, peaceful tip on back. Good. Come forward, triangle. So reach forward, bump the hips back, left hand down, right arm up. I like to press the back of my bottom hand into that calf. And as I press it in, it really opens up my chest. Warrior two, bend the front knee, come all the way up. Flip those hands behind the low back, turn to the top right corner, and then bow. Humble your warrior. Take up lots of space. Maybe you're sliding that back foot down the mat. And then again, we're coming into our chair pose at the top of the mat. So maybe this time, no hands, pop up the back heel, gaze forward, shift forward with momentum, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold. Good, inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Good, inhale, chair. And then all the way down, 4th round, crow pose, hands to earth, gaze forward. Yeah, if you've been practicing with 1 foot at a time for the jump back, maybe this time you practice with both feet. We meet back, downward facing dog. Okay, right leg lifts, big bend into the knee, open up, tap it to the left. We've been here before. Inhale, sweep it up. One more time, tap it to the left. Inhale, open up. This time you're finding your wild thing. So tip on over, right foot comes to the earth behind you. Pick up the hips. And then we're coming into our destination is going to be humble warrior, top of the mat. So maybe you move through a side plank variation here, picking up the right toes. Softly, right foot steps forward. Right away, you're spinning the back heel down. So again, it's this warrior two stance with the legs. Crawling this time your fingers to the top left corner. Bow the head. Moving into our skandasana. So we're going to keep the right knee bent. All we're going to do is turn the left toes up to the ceiling. If you can go lower than me, go lower than me. Got pretty tight hips here. And then moving into our prasarita, our wide-legged forward fold. So hands can support you. You're going to straighten both legs. Bow deeply. Good. Hands are going to come to the earth. And I want you to shift forward, start to straighten your elbows, like you're going to press up into a handstand and then lift up your heels, up, 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 up. And then softly let them come down. Do that again. Press forward, straighten those elbows, lift the heels up, 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 up. And then release. Let's pivot back to the front of the mat, plant the hands, step back. Maybe you keep the right leg lifted. We move through a little flow here, chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha, down dog. Left leg lifts, big bend into the knee, open up. Good, tap it to the right elbow. Inhale, open up, three-legged dog. Exhale, tap it to the right. Inhale, sweep it up. This time you're finding your wild thing, slow and controlled. Left foot behind you. Pick up the hips. And then as quiet as you can, the transition is into that humble warrior, but maybe you can come through a side plank. You know, pick up the left foot, soft as you can, left foot forward. We start to spin the back heel down, crawling those fingertips to the top right corner. Coming into your skandasana on this side. So turning this time, left toes up to the ceiling. Hips drop low. If you have a bind or a deeper variation, you can absolutely take it. And then moving into our prasarita, our wide-legged forward fold. Pick up the hips, fold down the center. And maybe this time you start to walk the hands under the hips, working towards top of the head towards the earth. Now, if the top of the head comes to the earth easily, options, you can take a headstand, or you can walk the feet in a little closer, and then again, attempting to draw the head towards the earth. So you'll have to work a little harder to get the head towards the earth if the feet are closer together. If you are in a headstand, softly come back to the earth. Hands come underneath the face or the shoulders. Pivot to the front of the mat. We flow it out. So plant your hands, step back. Maybe this time the left leg stays lifted as you lower down low plank. Set the foot down. Inhale, heart lifts. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Let's let the knees come wide. And just settle into a child's pose just for a moment. Okay. We'll begin to slide the hands back, coming into our dancing camel. So in this variation, the knees are quite wide, wide as child pose. And we'll bring the right hand behind you so it can either come to the heel or the earth. I'm going to bring it to the mat. And you're just going to pick up the hips, sweep that left arm up and behind you. And then you're going to switch sides. I like to drop the hips and sweep that left arm around and then to the back. Place it down, pick up the hips, reach the right arm up. And then again, switch. Breathing on the lift, inhale. Exhale to drop. Inhale to lift. Let's do one more full round, both sides. Exhale. Last one. And release. Come all the way onto your chest. Moving into dancers on the belly. So reaching the arms forward, thumbs up, pinkies down. We're going to keep the left arm straight. Bend your right knee and right elbow. And you're going to reach back and catch the foot or the shin or the ankle. It doesn't matter. You can catch the inside or the outside. And then lifting up that right leg. Start to kick into that right foot. And then let's lift the other side up completely. So left leg, left arm, lifting everything off of the mat. Kicking, kicking, breathing. And then without pausing at center, you're just going to go right to the other side. Finding your dancers on this side, dancers on the belly. Lift, kick. And release. We're going to go ahead and open up the right arm into your open wing. So reach your right arm straight out to the side. You can bend your left knee and elbow. And then begin to tip on over. We're stretching that right shoulder. Maybe the left foot comes to the earth behind you. And then another variation here is to take your Chapasana bind. So it looks like dancers on your side. We just did dancers on the belly. So reaching back, maybe left hand catches the left ankle. And then we'll release, come back onto your chest. And we're going to go to the other side. I'm just going to switch my microphone here. Left arm reaches straight out, tip on over. Maybe you stay here. Maybe that right hand reaches and catches the bind. Chapasana. Opening through the shoulder and the hip. Good. And then release back onto your chest. Push back either through tabletop or curl the toes under. Find your high plank. Push back, down dog. And then we make our way to the top of the mat. Maybe a tiptoe, maybe a stride, maybe a hop. Breathe in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Stand tall, come all the way up. Reach up, stay here. And then moving into our dancer's pose. So we did dancers on our belly, on our sides. Now we do it standing. Drop your right hand, start to shift into the left foot. You can catch the inside of that right foot. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you begin to kick, perhaps start to hinge forward. It's a little tricky doing it on carpet. So find your drishti. What the heck is a drishti? Soft, steady gaze with your eyes. Steady breath, steady core, steady mind. And then we're going to switch to the other side. Maybe you shake it out in between. Maybe you go right to the other side. Catching the inside of the left foot this time. Maybe you stay or begin to kick and then hinge. And then softly release. We'll move through one more vinyasa. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Hands to the earth, step or jump back. Plank pose, chaturanga. Inhale, back bend. Push back. Down dog. Gaze forward so you can hop or simply place the knees on the earth. We're going to come to lay down on our backs. And before we close out with a twist, let's move into a back bend here. So bridge and then wheel. You can take 2 wheels or you can take 2 bridges or you can take one of each. I'm going to guide one of each. So with the bridge, have your heels fairly close to the body. You might even be able to touch the heels with the fingertips. Begin to press into the feet, lift up the hips. Maybe you're staying here, or you can interlace the fingers behind the low back and start to roll your shoulder blades together. Walking them under the hips, lifting up your chest, lifting up those hips. Press into the feet. Imagine you are squeezing a block between the knees. Good. Start to guide the triceps and the pinkies down to the earth, lifting the hips up the opposite direction. And then softly release. Let's take a big stretch overhead. The legs go long, arms go long. Taking your full Urdhva Dhanurasana, so your wheel pose. Same position with the feet, so you can certainly take bridge again. Otherwise, hands are going to come by the ears, but you're going to flip the fingertips so that they face the toes. And then press into the feet, lift up your hips, press into your arms, start to straighten them. Maybe you pause at the head, or maybe you come all the way up. Imagine there is a string on your belly button, lifting you up, 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 up. Hold for 3, for 2, and for 1. Chin to chest. Slowly come all the way down. Good. Thread the needle. So this is going to be in replacement of pigeon. Let's take our right ankle, cross it over the left knee. If this is enough, stay here. Otherwise, right hand can reach through that hole. Maybe you're holding onto the shin or the knee. If you want a little more, you can start to squeeze that left knee in, maybe tipping over to the left side. And then we're going to continue, and we're going to continue into fallen needle. So we'll take our left hand, catch it on the right ankle, and you're just going to allow that right foot to come to the left side of the mat. See if you can keep both shoulders on the earth. Maybe you start to draw your right knee, this bent knee that's in the air, down towards the back of the mat. And then we'll switch sides, come back to center, thread the needle on this side. So left ankle crossed over right knee, left hand reaches through, catch that knee. Maybe this is where you stay. Perhaps you start to pull the knee a little closer or tip over towards the right. And then eventually we'll just keep tipping on over. I like to take the right hand and grab a hold of that left ankle so that I can guide it into place. And again, maybe you're drawing your left knee towards the back of the mat. And that is our practice. If you want to come back to center and finish in a Shavasana, that is here for you. Invitation to take a couple of minutes to slow down. Otherwise, thank you and namaste.